They tried to destroy your foundation, but the angels strengthened it beyond their wildest imaginations. Now, the cracks they intended for you have shattered their own lives. They were confident in their schemes, but the angels turned the tides. Now, the ruin they intended for you has engulfed them, while you stand victorious and unscathed. Their lies were supposed to break you, but the angels have purified your path. What they didn't see coming was how their betrayal would fuel your rise to even greater heights. The enemies thought they were closing the book on your story, but the angels had already written a new chapter. Now, they stand in disbelief as their betrayal becomes their downfall. They never thought their betrayal would turn into their biggest regret. The angels ensured their plans to ruin you would fail, leaving you stronger and them trapped by their own schemes. They plotted to sabotage your dreams, but the angels turned their deception into your stepping stones. Now their betrayal has backfired and you soar beyond their reach. Their intention was to strip you of your power, but the angels reversed their schemes. Now they are left helpless as you rise to levels they could only dream of. The enemy's plan was so carefully crafted, but little did they know that every step they took to tear you down only built your strength even higher. The angels stood by your side, and their schemes have crumbled before your eyes. What they intended for your destruction has turned into your biggest victory. The very trap they set for you has ensnared them, and now the light of your destiny shines brighter than ever before. Your enemies plotted against you, thinking you were vulnerable, but the divine forces that surround you have turned their weapons into dust. What they didn't see coming was the power of the angels guarding your every move. The walls they tried to cage you with have collapsed, but not on you. Instead, the rubble has buried their malicious intentions, leaving you standing taller, freer, and more powerful than ever. Every time they whispered deceit, the angels amplified your truth. Every attempt to poison your name has been washed away, leaving behind the clear waters of your strength, resilience, and destiny. They thought they could darken your path, but in their efforts to extinguish your light, they only fueled its flame. The angels have turned their shadows into the very brightness that now blinds your enemies. Your enemies were so confident in their schemes, but they forgot one crucial element: the power of divine intervention. What they didn't see was the angels dismantling their plans in secret, turning your challenges into triumphs. They plotted, they schemed, they planned your downfall, but the angels intercepted every move. Now, the destruction they aimed at you has reversed course and is headed straight for them. In their haste to ruin you, they underestimated your resilience and the divine protection that surrounds you. Every arrow they aimed at you has ricocheted back, leaving them to deal with the consequences of their own malice. Their plans were made in the shadows, but the angels brought everything to light. Now the very traps they set have ensnared them, and you stand victorious, stronger than ever. Every snare they laid has become a stepping stone for your success. The angels have turned their wicked plots into divine opportunities, leaving your enemies to watch helplessly as you rise above. They believed they had won, but the angels were quietly undoing every thread of their malicious plan. Now they stand in the ruins of their own making, while you walk towards your destiny untouched. They worked so hard to destroy you, but the forces of heaven had a different plan. Their betrayal has backfired spectacularly, leaving them in the dust as you soar to heights they never dreamed you would reach. In trying to bury you, they forgot that seeds grow in darkness. What they didn't anticipate is that the angels were nurturing your roots, and now you have bloomed far beyond their reach. The traps they set for you were lined with their own downfall. Every pit they dug has become their prison, and the angels have guided you safely to higher ground. They thought they could weaken you, but the angels have made you unbreakable. Their plots have unraveled, and what was meant to ruin you has become the foundation of your greatest triumph. Their jealousy turned into obsession, but they forgot that you are divinely protected. The harder they tried to bring you down, the higher the angels lifted you. Now they are left to watch as their own plans crumble. Every attack they launched only served to reveal the strength of your spiritual shield. The angels stood guard, and now the enemy is left bewildered as their schemes fall apart. The roadblocks they placed in your way have been transformed into milestones of your journey. The angels have repurposed their sabotage into blessings, leaving your enemies stunned at your progress. They thought they could write the ending to your story, but the angels had already rewritten it. Now, the plot twist is clear. Their betrayal has only paved the way for your ultimate victory. They were so busy planning your defeat, they didn't notice the angels working behind the scenes. Every move they made has backfired, and now the tables have turned in ways they never imagined. They crafted elaborate plans, thinking they had outsmarted you, but they didn't realize the angels had already seen it all. Now their strategy has fallen apart, and you stand in the light of your divine protection. Their envy blinded them to the truth. You are untouchable in the eyes of the divine. Every effort to harm you has reversed, leaving them trapped in the very web they spun. They thought they could poison your success, but instead the angels have purified your path. What they sent to destroy you has become the catalyst for your breakthrough. Their envy led them to betrayal, but the angels have turned the tables. Now, their plans are in shambles, and you're thriving in ways they never anticipated. They thought they could manipulate your downfall, but they failed to consider the angels watching over you. Now their betrayal has become their own undoing, while you rise higher with each passing day. Their efforts to sabotage your progress have only backfired. The angels transform their tricks into triumphs, leaving them to deal with the consequences of their own envy. They orchestrated your defeat, but in their blindness they didn't realize the divine forces that were silently unraveling their plots. Now their plans lay in ruins, and you emerge victorious. Every snare they set, every lie they told, has crumbled beneath the weight of divine protection. The angels have flipped the script, leaving your enemies bewildered and defeated. Their obsession with destroying you blinded them to the fact that the angels were always with you. Now, their hatred has backfired, and you're standing tall while they face the chaos of their own making. They attempted to poison your reputation, but the angels turned their venom into fuel for your success. Now, they watch in disbelief as you rise stronger and more powerful than before. They thought they were clever, but the angels were already steps ahead. Now their deceit has fallen apart, and their plans to ruin you have backfired spectacularly. They built a trap they thought you couldn't escape from, but the angels intervened, and now the very trap they set has caught them instead. You walk freely toward a brighter future, untouched by their malice. Their plans were driven by jealousy and spite, but the angels have ensured their downfall. Now, the schemes that were meant to break you have become the very reason for your unstoppable rise. They put all their energy into bringing you down, but the angels flipped their intentions. Now, their plans to ruin you have backfired, and you're moving forward with divine grace and power. They underestimated the divine protection that surrounded you. The angels have turned their betrayal into a victory, leaving your enemies powerless and astonished by your success. Every trap they set for you has turned into an opportunity for you to grow. The angels have ensured that their malice only serves to highlight your unstoppable strength and grace. The enemy's plan was full of deceit, but the angels intervened, and now their betrayal is nothing but dust beneath your feet. You continue to rise, untouched and more powerful than ever.